was already coming along, but nobody knew. Nobody knew. I was never ranked in high school. Third team All-State. You know what I'm saying?
So, now, take us back to the PSL. So that was early to mid '90s, right in that time frame. What was the level of competition like as far as like individual matchups? You about what, 6'4", 6'5"?
I'm 6'5".
6'5". Who were your toughest matchups at that time?
Oh, we had Wesley Hicks over at Cody. Antonio Granger over at Denby. My junior year, Cody had 2 7-footers, both big brains. Rest in peace, Brian Alexander, who just passed.
Cody?
Yes, 2 7-footers. Yes. So competition and the level of competition was high every Tuesday and Friday. It was not an off night.
Okay.
There was not an off night. Everybody had 1 or 2 guys that can legitimately play, were college ball players, but the competition level from everybody on the floor at once was just through the roof.
Now,
yeah, not to cut you off, but Maurice McCree over at McKenzie.
Okay.
Yeah, I had some battles. I had to go through some guys.
Now, like I get this question a lot, and having coached high school ball myself, I try to like be open-minded with my answers. So I'm gonna ask it from your perspective. Why do you think there's a drop-off in talent in the PSL now compared to like 10, 15, 20 years ago?
That's a tough one, but it's a drop-off in talent as a whole with the basketball community.
Okay.
The kids nowadays are getting more individual instruction and training than we were, but they don't actually know how to just go hoop. I was explaining this with my brothers because I'm the oldest of 4 brothers. We all hoop. It wasn't no cone drills and none of that stuff when we was coming up.
No tennis balls being thrown at you and you juggling the basketball and the tennis ball.
No, you just either kept a basketball with you and you just went to hoop all day, every day. The kids nowadays, and I know this may seem a little biased, but the level of competition and willingness to compete has dropped off.
Facts.
Like guys say it all the time with me, did Johnny Goshen recruit you? Yeah, Johnny came and hollered at me. I didn't want to go to Persian and run with them. Not that I didn't want to win. I wanted to beat those guys.
Okay, I respect that.
Same thing with Cass Tech. I could have went to Cass. I wanted to beat those guys. It's a competition thing. And I think that part right there is where you can say for the PSL, maybe the talent level has dropped.
Yeah, that too. And I did an interview, had a podcast episode, I think on Monday morning. It was a young lady from Kenya. She was on the Kenyan Olympic basketball team. And she was saying that she was concerned about some of the young basketball players being able to close the gap as far as like getting their skill level up to par with Americans. And I told her, I'm like, don't stress out too much because
exactly.
As far as like you got the individual talent still, like the Imani Bates of the world, but the overall basketball population as far as high school level, the skills dropped off a little bit. She was surprised. She thought that, they had a long ways to go. I'm like, yeah, you guys have a ways to go, but it's not as far a gap as you think.
Yeah, and then not to be sarcastic, but the guys from over there, you have something that can't be taught. Height.
Facts.
6'6", 6'7", 6'8", 6'9", 6'10", at 14 years old, you can't teach that. You can develop that, but you can't teach that. So for her, I would tell her, no, they not behind.
Yeah, she seemed real shocked. I was setting up a virtual event, right? It's coming up Saturday, June 6th.
Okay.
And I got a lot of family still back home in Ghana. So, I was posting the flyer on Instagram on the podcast page, and a bunch of young African ball players reached out to me. They sent me their highlights. So, I'm clicking on and I'm like, whoa, either this rim is 8 feet tall or this dude is like 6'8" with a 7'2" wingspan. So I'm like, okay, this virtual event, I'm going to educate these young players. I'm going to have former college players share their experiences, just kind of let these kids know what they're getting into, just to educate them. I'm not recruiting them. I don't have connections like that. I'm just trying to just let them know how it's like to be on the college campus. So I'm just doing my part to try to help out, the youth back home. So,
I understand. Like I say, I'm here to help you, whatever you need.
Appreciate that. If you had to give advice to a young ball player that's in high school, what would be like 5 tools that you would give them?
5 tools for a high school athlete.
Sir, high school athlete that's trying to go to, whether it's JUCO or college, to play college ball.
First one would be perseverance.
Okay.
Perseverance, because everybody is not going to receive the same opportunity. So you have to take advantage of the opportunity that you are getting. So that means if you get 30 seconds on the court or 30 minutes on the court, you have to take advantage of it. And you have to be able to accept when you only get that 30 seconds. So that would be perseverance. Work ethic, which we all know that's always core. You have to have a strong work ethic because there's somebody else getting some shots up when you sleep.
Facts.
There are a million people in the world. I'm not trying to get off track, but like I explained to the kids I trained today, you're not the only 25 kids in the gym right now. And before, where it used to just be the United States, it's no longer just the United States.
Global now, yeah.
Like you just said, there's some of your guys and family that's over there. And it's funny, but I tell them, y'all got a rim, a court, a goal, a gym. There's some guys over there with no gym shoes, dog, and they out there getting that boy up in the air.
Facts.
However they can. So work ethic. Don't put all your eggs in one basket with this athletic thing. Okay. I'm not saying that college is for everyone, but everybody's not going to get the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. And it's not always because of athletics or whether or not you can't play. There's always other circumstances that come into that. What's that, 4?
Yeah, 4. So one more tool.
That's a tough one, but I'm going to say be able to communicate with your coach.
Okay, yeah, that is important.
Be able to communicate with your coach, not only your basketball thoughts and dreams and hopes, but your actual life dreams. Oh, God. If you go to your coach and let him know, all right, this is where I want basketball to try to take me, you put him in a better position to help you. Because everybody's not going to be able to be paid to play the game. But there are other avenues to be around the game and stay around the game. And that's where we weren't taught coming up.
Not at all.
It was NBA or bust. Or, overseas get paid, but if you don't get paid, it's like, all right, you're a failure at basketball. No, you're not. Go be a coach. Go be a trainer. Go be a videographer.
AJ, I'm so glad you said that. I'm so glad you said that piece because I interviewed Marcus Stout. Marcus Stout played at Renaissance like early to mid 2000s.
Yeah, he came around the time with my little brother.
Say it again?
He came out around the same time with my little brother.
Oh, he did? Okay, so Marcus. Now, we had a real good conversation on that because a lot of young people that's listened to the show, some of them still have some of the mentality that some of us had when we were their age where it was NBA or bust like you said, but there's other ways to make it, quote unquote, without ever making the NBA.
Exactly.
Basketball is only a small part of our lives, so I'm glad you stated that.
And that's why I got back into the game. I was away for a while. I wouldn't go to no games. I was just disgusted with it. And I said, I can't sit at home and be disgusted with it. And I have all this knowledge and I know what I want to do with it. But for me, it's bigger than basketball. Yes. It's bigger than basketball. I try to explain to kids that, yes, that orange peel, that orange round basketball can take you anywhere you want to go. But you have to give it something.
Yes.
That something may be hard work. That something may be perseverance. That something may be communication with someone. But you have to give the game something in order to get something in return. But that's what anything in life.
Yep, I agree 100%. Now, explain to us what this Next Level Basketball Academy is all about for those that don't know.
Well, Next Level Basketball Academy is my training and teaching tool. I call it an academy because I believe in teaching the game the right way. And in doing that, I want the game to get back to being fun for these kids. I've been on the AAU circuit past 10, 12 years. And I remember on Saturdays when I woke up, I was excited to go play basketball. Mm-hmm. You walk in the gym nowadays, these kids are like they about to go to work. Like the stress that parents are putting on these kids at 9, 10, 11, 12 years old is unbelievable.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, you don't even know at 9 if he's still going to want to play at 15.
True. That's true.
So I am a culture shock to parents because I'm not the rah-rah, yeah, your son 10 and he can play right now, but he's going to the NBA. No, he's not. I'm not trying to be negative.
But realistic.
That's it. I'm a culture shock to kids who want to compete and play this game at a high level because there are too many people telling them that they're great and they're not. There are too many people telling them that, oh yeah, son, you had 45 points last night, but y'all lost. And the game is not being taught correctly anymore. It's not. You can't teach a kid a 6-7 dribble combination if you don't know how to dribble the ball 2 times between his legs. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So I go all the way back to basics. With my college guys I train, with my pro guys I train. So for me, Next Level Basketball Academy is exactly that, an academy where you're going to learn not only basketball skills, but you're going to learn how to take these basketball skills and put them into your life as well.
Now, what's the fee to get in, and like how frequently do y'all work out?
Well, right now, because of the quarantine, everything is on shutdown. I do a basic class rate, sometimes $25 an hour, sometimes $30 for 2 hours. It is my business, but I do it because this is what I love to do.
Makes sense.
You follow me? Mm-hmm. I generally try to keep the group small, 10 to 12 kids, because I want whoever comes to Next Level Basketball Academy to get something out of it.
Yeah, get your time. Yep, get your time. Yep.
I'm not babysitting. I'm not expecting parents to come drop their kids off and give me $30, and you come back, your kid can't dribble with their left hand. This isn't that. But for the most part, that's it, bro. That's it. I love being back in the gym. I love kids. That's my main focus. I love kids. I love being around kids, boys and girls. I've been a girls high school basketball coach at Mumford for about 7-8 years. I just love the game, period. I just love the game of basketball. And I do know that it can take people somewhere.
Facts. As far as like the young people, this is a tough question I'm about to ask.
Okay.
With everything that's going on, with the protests, police brutality is nothing new. Just the protests